Hey, what's going on, Thumbdar.com? Thumbdar. Therians. You guys always been the backbone of my support when it comes to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and raising both awareness and funds online. So, sit back and I'm going to be very candid with you and tell you a little story about why this is important, why we need to keep raising money, why we need to keep doing everything that we can until this horrid disease is just wiped off the planet. Okay? Okay. 1 second, please, because this is an emotionally draining thing for me to do. I'm not open like this ever, but I know you guys out there know me, and frankly, friends shouldn't hide things from friends, and I count all of the Therian community as my friends. Okay, my first memories relating to my disease were driving to Oakland and getting my leg sliced open. It's when they first diagnosed me at Oakland's Children's Hospital. Beautiful, beautiful hospital, well run. Great, great, greatly run. Um, they got my diagnosis back from the biopsy they took from my thigh muscle. Came back positive that I had spinal muscular atrophy. At that time, because of the lack of funding and research, they basically told my parents that I would never live to see 3 years old. Well, I struggled. I struggled very, very hard. 3 years old came. Doctor said I wouldn't be 7 years old. I struggled, became the smartest child in my class and one of the smartest children in my school while I was only in the first and second grade. At that time, when I turned 7, I was told I would never live to see any of my teen years, ever. Doctors don't always know everything. If you got the spirit, if you have the spirit, you can prolong yourself. So I wasn't supposed to be even 13 years old. I'm sitting here right now talking to you guys. I'm 25 years old, going on 26. And I now have a life expectancy of 70 to 80 years old. And that's without any medical advancements right now. That makes me happy. Because going through school, I'm sure everyone out there has been picked on. So, you know what it's like a bit. But, did you have things that followed you for 6, 7 years? Have you had to change your sets of friends 4 to 5 times for each school you go to? When you look around, how many true friends do you really have? For me, not that many. Probably less than I can count on one hand. Well, That's kind of stupid, but I can count them on one hand. I don't know if that's due to ignorance of people not accepting me because they see my wheelchair and automatically think that I'm mentally disabled. Well, I am mentally disabled. I'm not mentally challenged, but I'm mentally disabled. Why am I like this? Why am I mentally disabled? It's because of the life I've had to grow up in. When everybody was out there, 5 years old, 6 years old, playing catch with their dad, I was sitting there watching you, envying you, and wondering why I couldn't do it. I didn't know. I thought I would grow up to be a Special Olympics gold medalist. Innocence is so beautiful, isn't it? Before I knew it, I was not even able to push myself from one classroom to another, and I was being put into an electric wheelchair. Okay, that gave me distance, but it also made me stand out just that much more, and made things obviously that much more difficult for me. From the very most simplistic things, hygiene, bathing, going to the restroom. I could no longer go to the restroom at school. They weren't capable of providing equipment for me. So I had to hold it. And I am not too proud to say that there were days that I couldn't hold it and I had to have an accident in school. And I didn't have the luxury of being able to call up whoever and go home. I had to deal with it. I had to deal with people making comments about it. That's that's not fun. It's very far from fun. It's very damaging. Since the age of 12, I've been scared to death to have a child. Not because it might have my disease. I could accept that. I could live with it. I love myself so I could love my children no matter what. But what I am scared of is the government trying to take my child away from me because of my disability. It happens so often in these states that it really makes us disabled people scared. Scared shitless. Sorry to say it like that. And as it is, I'm the last in my bloodline. So I don't know what I'm going to do on that front. Some people might ask me, is it even ethical for me to have a child knowing that it could come out with muscular dystrophy? But is a life not a life? My little brother Hawkins lived to be 20 years old. The golden age for someone with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is reaching that 21st fucking birthday. He was just under 2 months from reaching that when he passed. That was almost 5 years ago now. On October 29th, it will be 5 years. I was able to recuperate and recover from my grandmother's death. But my little brother, to this day, I don't. I don't know how to handle it. How he was able to be so brave to know that he was going to die so young, so early. And, I sit here scared to have a child, yet he was looking death in the face, knowing that he wouldn't have a child. And if he did, he knew that he wasn't going to be able to be there. I'll still be able to be there, at least emotionally and mentally, for my child. But having my little brother makes me realize what it is to not only have my disease, but to have all the forms of muscular dystrophy. It either brings a family together at diagnosis or it splits us apart. And too often it split us apart. So if it splits family apart, then we reach out to our friends who are our family. People that care are family. This is why we reach out to you guys, to Therians. This is why we reach out to Thumdar. We know that you guys will at least send positive thoughts. We encourage any donations. A penny, 1 pence, a peso, I mean, whatever. But in the end, that money helps, but it doesn't matter. I just want you to look into my eyes and know that this disease is a very, very spitefully fucking hurting disease. But I keep going on. If I can keep going on and fighting through this, can you please try and help me? Not me myself, but try and help me in what I'm trying to do. And that's saving the next generation of children's lives. I don't want to see kids growing up like me. I don't. It is not the life for a child. You guys have seen my ups and downs through the 7 years. I I just I really hope this has come to heart for you. Um, I'd like to answer a few questions that I brought up to my mother that I need to answer for myself. One of which is, what are my most difficult obstacles, both mentally and physically? I'm going to start out physically. This, for me, and it may go differing from a person to person with disability, but for me personally, it's the ability to not control my bowel movements and slowly my urinary tract movements. I That makes me want to cry even admitting that to everybody, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not here to hide behind a mask. I do that a lot. I'm handyman most of the time. The still-jawed, happy-go-lucky cripple. Well, I'm letting you guys know right now. I am not happy-go-lucky. I am very sad inside. But my friends like you guys, you bring a smile on my face. Now, mentally, what is the hardest thing?